Hey everybody! I don't usually review movies on my YouTube channel, but I just watched Barbie Princess Adventure with my kids. I wanted to see what other people thought about the movie, and there are no reviews for it. I found like one review for it, and so now I'm doing my own review. Okay, so this Gosh, I'm trying not to be mean here from the start, but I didn't really like the movie. The story is that Barbie trades places with a princess who looks just like her, and that's just such a bad story because it's been done a million times. In Barbie did this multiple times. So we've had Barbie, the Princess and the Pauper, which I'm told is a really great movie. I haven't seen it. I also haven't seen Barbie, the Princess and the Pop Star, but I think that one might actually be better than this because at least that one had like two main characters. So we got to see what Princess Barbie is doing, and we got to see what Pop Star Barbie is doing. Whereas this one, it's all just Barbie. We don't really know what the princess is doing. Barbie trades places with the princess. The princess gets ice cream and goes to a nightclub, and that's basically it. The story is mostly about Barbie trying to be a princess. So she has to go to like a fundraiser, and she goes on a yacht, and she has to ride her horse at a horse show. And that's basically all she has to do. It's not very interesting. I feel like they could have done a lot more with the premise. And, you know, they've had other variations of the story where they do more with the premise, where, like, you know, somebody figures out that, oh my gosh, this isn't really the princess, and they try to blackmail Barbie, or they try to kidnap the princess, or something interesting like that. But no, it's just the princess decided to get ice cream. Cool. So, it's based on Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures, which is the Netflix TV show. I haven't seen Dreamhouse Adventures. I saw the first episode, and then that was it. So I feel like if I had actually seen the TV show, then this movie would be a lot better, because I would know who all the characters are and would appreciate it a lot more. But I don't really know the characters. I know her friend with the pink hair, because that's a pretty memorable character. Very distinct looking. But other than that, I don't really know who the characters are. I don't know who this Trey guy is. Yeah. So, her friends are just sort of hanging around in the background. They don't really serve much of a purpose. I know they're in the TV show, but they don't really serve a purpose in this movie. Besides, they're just window dressing. They hang around, they sing backup to the songs, and that's basically all that they do. They're not really important to the storyline. This movie could easily have been done with just Barbie. In fact, it might have been done better if it was just Barbie, I would say. It's like the first 10 or 15 minutes is just like an episode of the TV show. So, you know, it introduces, you know, Barbie's parents and her sisters and the puppies, and they're not in the movie outside the first 10, 15 minutes. They're just there, and then they just sort of disappear. I mean, granted, you know, if you've seen the TV show, you're probably going to be a big fan of that. But for me, I'm like, well, they're just introducing a boatload of characters, and then, whoop, they're gone. They're not going to be here for the rest of the movie. So that was a problem I had with that. Her friends who do stick around for the rest of the movie don't have an impact on the story. So that's a shame. So another thing that doesn't really impact the story are the songs. So the songs were okay. They're just sort of generic Barbie songs, like, oh man, you can do anything you want to be, and, you know, girl power, and friends are the best, hug your friends. Just, you know, just sort of generic happy pop songs. And they were barely connected to the story. Like, you could cut them out of the movie, and the movie would not miss anything whatsoever. I feel like they were designed to be YouTube videos. They were clearly designed to be music videos that kids would watch on YouTube. So that's what those songs were like. So I really wish the songs had been better connected to the movie and actually served some purpose, as opposed to we're just putting music videos on YouTube to advertise the movie. So that's what I thought about the songs. Speaking of YouTube, so the storyline is that Barbie wants to be a YouTube star, and there's this, what do you call it, a mega influencer. So she is just like the character from Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, the really tall woman who watches YouTube videos all day and decides who becomes a famous YouTube celebrity. Is that what happens in real life? Is that why I'm not a famous YouTuber? It's because I didn't appease the really tall woman who decides who gets to become famous? I guess I should give her a phone call at some point, apologize for ignoring her. But, yeah, so I think the movie missed a golden opportunity. They really should have made her a Visco girl, because they're trying to modernize the story. So this is Barbie taking place in modern day. They should have made the influencer a Visco girl. That would have been fantastic. Missed opportunity. She's just sort of like the generic, I'm a snobby, important person. And she has a list of rules she wants Barbie to follow. And they try to do a parallel between that and the princess, because the princess doesn't like having to follow rules all day long. But I don't think the parallel worked very well. And again, you know, they totally could have cut out this influencer person who calls Barbie like 3 or 4 times throughout the movie. She wasn't really an important character. That's sort of a problem with the movie. It has things happening, but nothing seems very important. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of thought put into, like, an ongoing storyline. I think the best example of this is the movie's villain. So, the movie's villain is introduced really late into the movie. I'd say like 70% of the movie. This one character, we saw this character once before. He was just sort of like this joke character. The joke is that he's annoying. There are multiple characters in this movie where the joke is that this character is super annoying. But one of them just says, ha ha ha, I'm the evil villain now, I will take over the kingdom. And it just sort of comes out of nowhere that the comedy relief is now the villain. And, you know, 2 problems. Number 1, there's no time for the villain to do anything because we're so late in the movie. We're close to the end. So what does the villain do? He kidnaps Barbie, he kidnaps the princess, and just sort of locks him in the closet. That's basically it. That's all the time he has for his evil scheme, is, you know, locking Barbie in the closet. So that was kind of a failure. Another reason why this was a failure is just the weird premise that if the princess is 5 minutes late to her own coronation, this guy becomes king. What a weird rule! So he automatically becomes king if the princess is like 5 minutes late. So, you know, he could have just, you know, spilled a drink all over the princess right before the coronation, and then he gets to become king. That could have been his evil plan. Another thing that was bad about that was, you know, the princess was trapped on the yacht. So Barbie and her friends save the princess on the yacht. That takes about 5 minutes. Then they go to the coronation to stop the evil villain, and that takes about 1 minute. So it takes them, like, way longer to fight the random flunkies than it did for them to fight the villain and have the big confrontation. So that was also a problem. They really should have swapped the two. Make the major villain be the one with the big fight scene. Another weird thing are the outfits in the movie. Okay, so this outfit, here's a Barbie outfit. So this is basically what the princess wore to her own coronation. She had a graphic tee with love, love, love written on it, and Barbie wears this exact outfit in the movie, except Barbie's is pink, not orange. It was just ridiculous. Like, why would the princess wear a graphic tee when she's going to be made queen? Why is everybody wearing leggings to the coronation? I mean, yes, I know. These are outfits on the dolls. They want people to buy the outfits because this movie's basically a toy commercial. But it was just completely out of place and did not fit. Oh, okay, so I feel like more... It feels like, you know, the Barbie producers just had a list of things they wanted the movie people to do. It's like, you've got to have these outfits in the movie. You've got to have these music videos in this movie. Hey, you've got to have this YouTube influencer storyline. And then the people who made the movie are like, okay, we'll just sort of throw them together, I guess. And it was not the best done movie. Two scenes I really, really liked, though. Ken and the other guys have a big dance number where they sing like a 90s boy band, and they do this really complicated choreographed dance. And it was funny. It was funny. My other favorite scene was towards the beginning of the movie. Raquel, she's in the movie for like 10 seconds, and she complains that she's not in the movie. She's like, fine, I guess I'm not going to be in this movie then. She storms off, and we never see her again. That was hilarious. Something which bugged me. Last complaint. So Ken spends the entire movie trying to tell Barbie something. There's something really important that he wants to tell her, but every time he's about to tell her, they get interrupted. And so they're building up this joke over and over and over again, and then at the end of the movie, he says he wants to dance with her. So he basically chickens out and doesn't say what he was going to say. I feel really disappointed by that. It's a lot of build up for nothing. Was he going to propose? It almost felt like he was going to ask Barbie to marry him or something like that, but then it just ended up being a big blob of nothing. So overall, it's an okay movie. Like I said, it entertained my kids for 2 hours. It's not as good as some of the other Barbie movies. I think part of my issue with it is that it's based off this TV show that I haven't really seen. So maybe if I'd seen the TV show, I would like this movie so much better. But as it is, I'm like, it's just kind of passable and kind of forgettable. So, yeah, 2 months from now, I'll probably forget the entire thing. But it's not like it was a bad movie. It was just a really kind of terrible story that's been done over and over again. Especially when you have two other movies with the exact same premise that do the story better. That's not good. That's not good. It's not a terrible movie, but it's still not good. I'd probably recommend the Barbie Princess and the Pauper, because I'm told that's a classic movie, which is super fantastic, and everybody loves it. So if you have to pick between that and this one, I'd probably go with that one. Okay, so those are my thoughts on Barbie Princess Adventure. Just leave a comment if you have your own thoughts and opinions on the movie, because that's why I'm in this video. I was kind of interested in seeing what people thought of this movie. Because unlike the other Barbie movies, it doesn't have 1 million reviews on the internet. Probably because it's brand new. It just came out September 2020.